They've been on this roller coaster ride. You could look at it and say, you know, it's the performances that have surprised me as well. It's, you know, like the in terms of utility, but you do take away some big weaponry. What? There's you laughing. What's the defensive win rate globally in Kickoff, might I ask? Continue to rant about it.
Austin's right there. Just not got any idea. A bit of a freebie. Drake's going to get a little bit of a freebie back for his side. It does think it's into a 3 versus 4 for Twisted Minds, but Tim, surely Fnatic can't see themselves giving away what has started out as a great advantage for them. Here we go, Crocs in for one, Deepek on to another. This is now looking much better, and they're left in a 1 versus 4. Dovs downstairs on the Solus, one of their most played operators on this team. It's worth stressing as well, but I don't think even he can pull off a 1v4, Tim.
Nah, it's going to be tough. I mean, he does have the Solus. He can play around, you know, preventing a plant or anything like that, but won't have the opportunity. Crocs manages to get it. Big thing. And I've even had teams, I've even had players and coaches talk and say, oh, you really hate top block. I feel like, what's the problem? Another opener from Crocs in as well. Sorry, I've been talking about Freck celebration. He's not playing. Crocs manages to get another one. Wizard is there. They get Deadshot back on his feet as well. Important stuff. And another great attacking stuff.
Their game, and they've kept that, but they've added depth to their game. The thing is, they add a bit of risk in playing so aggressive very early on here. Like 2 players upstairs have gone down very quickly. Unless they can get something like this on the go, which is a little bit of magic out of a shot, needs to really find another here. Then I was going to say, it gives Fnatic a lot of time to make these attacks work, but they get it down and towards Wizard Sim. They were 3v5, and now suddenly it's starting to look like a 3v3.
Yeah, Fnatic need to make sure they don't give this round away. We've spoken about the importance of them improving those attacking stats, and this was a great opportunity to do so. Crocs comes out big again. We spoke about these hero players for Fnatic. Somebody stepping up and grabbing hold of the game. Crocs is doing exactly that. 6-0 at the minute, 2 inside of this round, but you've got to deal. You've got to deal with that VIP position. Trick, he hits them for a double. Are they going to allow it to continue? No.
Oh my.
Deepek goes in and gets one. He's traded, but it's that man Crocs. We've spoken about hero players. Is he going to be able to close this out?
He knows where he is. Pissing at the go. Oh, he was looking for it, but a Shom goes massive. And as you say, 50-50. Basically go here as if nothing has happened. Now, no shield coming through in this round. We have got Wizards stepping across the walls playing on the Capital, but they've missed out on P9 entirely. Sat on Snow Door. Managed to just about evade the watching eyes of Deepek, but he is finally traded out. And yet again, Fnatic have got a man of...
Continue to do so. Again, within the first minute, pretty much there. They get that entry kill. And also important that they get in it, because it's another one of the stats that the desk looked at. Entry on attack is, you know, far worse for Fnatic than entry on defense. And again, they are now 3 for 3. They're going fantastically well. They've got themselves a couple of killing the rounds as well. 4 versus 1. You have to look at it and think if there's a good chance this is over. Jalad, sort of player that's definitely capable of doing this. He's on Thorn at the minute, who is just, you know, supercharged as an operator right now after those recent buffs. She's very popular, but going to do absolutely nothing. Rounds to see, you know, what else can they do?
I think that was a bit...
That's going to be passed around the team. So let's see if Fnatic can keep up that aggression, get themselves a 4 for 4 on entries. Nice and early. We're going to have straight away Crocs racing in there, but is punished by Jalad using that...
Yeah, Crocs become a little bit of a nemesis of Jalad throughout this game, actually. The first 2 rounds, both the entry kills went the way of Croc, and Jalad was the one who was on the receiving end of it, whereas this time around, we've changed things over. He's got the entry, and now you're starting to see Twisted Minds build into things a little bit. And to allow their utility, being much more cautious, and now Fnatic are looking a little bit frustrated, dare I say. They've lost the Sens, they've lost the Deimos here. They're giving themselves away. Wizard and Nets fire a couple of bullets, and Dov is out there with a freebie. This is a much better round coming out from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, it's quite interesting as well, because taking away the gridlock, that's going to suggest to Fnatic, we're going to be hitting you on the flanks, we're going to be playing that aggressive playstyle, we're going to be chaotic and unpredictable. But as you say, they haven't really done that. You know, instead they've lent into a completely different kind of playstyle here, and they've given Fnatic a little bit of time in the round and a little bit of space, and just instead use the map and use the angles that they've got to find the kills. So they managed to find themselves up 4 versus 1 now, Twisted Minds, and a lot of work for Hoover to do. Can't find himself the first, and that is going to so far in Kickoff. Deepek playing it an awful lot.
I think like 5 times more than any other operator or something crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not unusual for Deepek. We do tend to see, you know, when he locks in on something in Appetite. We do have the opener coming through. It's going to be Hasham that gets taken down. Dover does manage to find a late response onto Wizard, taking the Lion off the board. Big loss with those E1D scans going, but it doesn't matter when Cox is just going to walk into sight. I was going to say he'd had a couple of quiet rounds after 1 and 2, but he makes amends with a big double when his team needs it, putting him up now onto 8 and 3. You want a hero player? He's delivering big time. Make it 3 in the round. And Fnatic, last time, do they just avoid it and play for Bakery instead? Or if they do try to work down white, keep an eye out for that area. Instead, it's Shillad who's going to do the damage. Wanders up Brown. Fnatic not...
On side, have we heard it go off? Yes, we have. So they should know that that drop's okay, but instead it's a complete and utter side swap to him. After all that attention given out towards east at the start, now they've got a full clear this side of the map, and there's players holding them here.
Yeah, Fnatic really struggling to get anything going. It's, I think, been a good defense from Twisted Minds there. They've had the answers all over the map. I love the push-up Brown stairs.
There's operator bans as well that we're seeing coming in right now for the second half. A shield.
You want to go and remove that. So far, I'm not surprised. The Nomad, I'm
still fine. I think it's kind of like blow for blow there. You know, one team have done okay just burning a little bit of time and making Twisted Minds think about things, and Twisted Minds have done a pretty good job of clearing them out and getting them back down to sight. They've also done a much better job, might I add, of clearing VIP. That's how you need to do it, Fnatic. We see 2 kills come in. They're both going to go to Twisted Minds. 5 versus 3. They've still got the Tachanka on the board here, so they do still have some denial, but Twisted Minds looking super smooth and slick on this attack.
I mean, look at how much work Trix has got done there. Look at the piece that Fresh was analysing at the halfway point, right? It was a 3v1 for Fnatic in a very, very similar spot. That was a 1v2 for Trix. He smoked one off, charging towards Christmas, got the player with the support of a teammate coming in behind him. They've played that absolutely beautifully, Tim. But now they've got to convert the round. You can't go for a 5v3 and see it lost. We were criticising Fnatic for the same thing. It'll be a similar story here if they see this one slip away from them. Trix got Diffuser in back pocket, waiting for this fire to burn out, but Tim, time is not on their side.
And look what it is doing the job, Des. It's those operators we spoke about. It's the Goyo canisters. It's the laser gates. It's all this utility that they brought to slow things down. Fnatic have played behind it beautifully. They knew exactly what the game plan was. 3v5-1 and well designed.
Starts to mount here. Twisted Minds looking for some early advantages.
Yeah, and P9's going to continue doing that work across top floor, mid floor with Solid Snake, just looking to drive those players out of position. But Dover does get taken out. That's the Blackbeard. Obviously, we spoke about, the analyst spoke about how Monty was banned to try and prevent Dover being on that operator, but instead he brings the Blackbeard. Doesn't matter. He's being neutralized. 4 versus 3 as a Nitro finds its mark, but the F2 keeps on singing. 3 versus 3 as Twisted Minds scrap to keep themselves in this one.
Come back to what I said in the first half, Tim, when we saw Twisted Minds defending this site. They didn't drop away soon enough. What have Fnatic done? Dropped away, managed to get Croxford up, got a kill on the way out, and then collected a C4. They're in a golden chance to be able to close out this round. However, it's still nail-bitingly close. 2 versus 2. We're coming down to the last 45. Still 1 C4 in the back pocket of Hover here.
P9's just, I think, heard something there. Thinks he's maybe going to be pushed on that door by Deepek, but Deepek knows he doesn't need to do anything here, really. He's baited out a little bit by the sound of P9's gadget, but plays it smart and dips back. Doesn't really need to push there, however. Does get taken down by P9. Deepek with the trade, though. 1v1. Fuser has been recovered by Hasham, and Deepek now is surely going to start playing the time game.
He's got to be so careful here as well, Deepek. Hasham's got a great idea on where he's going to push him from. There's only really 1 or 2 places he can make it happen, but we're down to the last 5. He's got to go for a kill now, Tim, but there's a shotgun at the ready. Deepek's here. Who comes out on top? He gets down on his belly. The good old Hasham.
Bit of that unpredictability. You know that there's going to be jump outs. You know they're going to be sticking the face out of windows if they get the opportunity. So they try to prevent that happening. Deadshot manages to get the kill onto Dover. That's going to... This is it. Twisted Minds, you know, they've brought the gridlock. They're trying to prevent the runouts themselves, but Fnatic are reading into that and saying, we know you're going to try and cover your flanks like that. We're going to make it unpredictable. You know, they're trying to lean into it by being unpredictable themselves.
Fnatic are 2 for 2 on C4's thrown and kill secured. It was a 5v3. They've now lost 1 back. Sham. It's got to be mindful of the fact that this is barbed wire here, but now they know that he's coming as a player on White Stairs. Does he know? Pretty sure he does. They're backed away here, Tim. Left it and taken the angle inside of utility instead, but there we go. It's Alva onto him. He falls down, and surely this is a Fnatic round to win. And all orchestrated off the back of a couple of fantastic C4 kills. They made it look easy.
In the back pocket for Fnatic, looking good here on Cafe.
Blitz on side, the Cave's been able that as well. They're gonna get stung by it later on.
Ooh, just taken down off the rappel. Yet another entry going to Fnatic. Deadshot.
On the Ram himself, he died in the entry. Still had a block on side to make things happen, so Tricks can get work done. But my eyes will always be on that C4, which is now being wielded by Deadshot. Is he going to throw it off towards somebody? Yes, he is, but no kill secured this time around.
Dover's still doing great work on the shield.
Again?
Little bit of cast the curse there, though, as he walks in.
And now it's simply not available. This is going to be a rescue effort for Twisted Minds.
It is. It's not the end of the world for them at the minute. They've still got the sledge. That resolves kind of the Ram problem a little bit. They're getting to work and doing it now. Deadshot is going to take a bunch of damage as well. So they've still got the tools that they need for this job. They've got time. It was a minute 15 when they were opening Freezer Wall and had control of VIP. So they've got a lot of good work done. It is possible, but they have to stop losing bodies. Deadshot manages to find Jalad. 3 versus 2 now. Steps up. Wizard double in the round for him. And it is all up to Tricks on the sledge. 20 seconds. He drops Freezer. He's going to push on into sight. But there's bullets raining in all around him. There is absolutely no safe space for the sledge. Shut out by Deadshot. Big round. The pistol fight was the bailiff actually against the shotgun of Deepek. Twisted Minds did come away with the win. They do manage to get Hasham in on the Blackbeard, but how much success have Fnatic found with the explosives? It continues. Blackbeard taken down. Jalad manages to find a trade, but Deadshot is there for one onto Tricks. He's continuing to fight White Stairs. He was in a bad position, but again, this is something that Fnatic have done well throughout.
They've always got something else in mind. The Twisted Minds, to give it to them, it's not all that often you'll see 2 players playing on White Window there. So when the second player appeared there and got a freebie, I was like, oh, nice, that surprised them. Now they've got themselves another from the similar position. P9 bringing it down to a 2 versus 2. They're not out of this yet. They can still do it, but we're coming down to the last 40 seconds. A couple of impacts in the back pocket of Croc, for example. And a Kiba barrier still to go. There are still ways that Fnatic can cause a headache here.
Going to see P9 on White Stairs there, looking to get aggressive in towards Fireplace. He's able to take the challenge as he's in the vault animation, takes down Crocs and leaves Wizard now 1v2. The one thing Twisted Minds need to make sure here is that they don't give him anything for free. Don't give him those 1v1s.
Beautiful.
Nicely done. Working together, they picking up Deepek, and that is a big one to remove. That is the clash. The shield gone off the board.
And just when it was at 6-4 and we were thinking, surely Twisted Minds are going to find themselves struggling to catch back up. Well, Tim, they look like they're on to do it. A 5 versus 3. Fnatic have tried this really aggressive hold around White that hasn't yet paid off. Croc gets at least 1 back, but now it's a little awkward scrap into Fireplace itself. Can't easily push in, but look at it from below. Wonderful play from Hasham to get the assist down. Jalad getting rid of Deadshot. They have sliced that side up to him like a good old pizza, and now they force us to overtime.
We're going to key player where you can't always guarantee on having that support, but here we go in round 12. We get aggressive with Twisted Minds. They send in the shield, they get a double. Fnatic starting to crumble here. They're on the defense again. They've got the clash, but as people die, Deepek becomes less powerful because he can't keep playing behind that shield. They need him gun up, able to take a fight. Jalad manages to find Wizard. He's not going to have to take 1 fight, he's going to have to take 5 right now. Flawless round, and Twisted Minds does. Crocs has taken the drop at top red. We saw him have some success on the entry in the first half. Rounds 1 and 2 both went to him. He's going to find this one as well. Adds round 14 to his intel on the pulse. Tries to go for a run out, but due diligence has been paid. However, earlier in the round, had that air jab there for that possible run out. Good stuff. They're going to drop in behind the sense walls. They don't quite get away with it, but the trade is there, so no big loss for Fnatic. Deepek finding the man. It's going to be the plant going down as well now. Tricks is trying to get movement going here, but he cannot find an angle. Wizard picks up the kill, and we Just continuing the sweep across the top floor. They do still have Croxon to deal with. There's Wizard, there's Deadshot, there's plenty up there left alive for Fnatic. However, hits the C4. You called it, Des. Jalad taken down. Dockerby as well. The player that in part was probably there to prevent those Valkyrie camps having scoreboard. 4 versus 4 in the round. Could not be closer than this.
But it's time, Tim. That's what I think Fnatic have played for here, and they've done such a great job. Losing Croc, though, that is not super ideal. We know that he's been massive form throughout this game. 15 and 12, he will end on. 1 kill per round, perfectly averaged out. Here we go with the drops coming on through. There's a Blackbeard here looking to put pressure down inside a fireplace. A key spot to be in, because that's got Fnatic playing a range for denial. They're looking nice and close to going for a door plant here as well. I expected to find someone in behind the fallen bookcase, but there is no one. But that could have been a freebie, but no, it's the Blackbeard. Plant is going down, and Fnatic look powerless. Stop it, Tim.
Powerless, you say, Des. However says otherwise. Pops himself up onto the washing machine and cleans house. Gonna take him down, but then, Twisted Minds, they just run in, they close the...
Ways. No one is expecting them. All the major gunfights, Jack,
yeah,
they are lost to the side of Fnatic.
Yep.
And I think it is a consistent issue that in the most critical moment, when they do need these impactful kills, the critical skill is just lacking.
Yeah. And I mean, this is one of those games.
You know, one failed push goes differently. They win that map. Real mountain to climb.
They have. However, many a pro team completely messed this up over the years.
Yes, especially with the Maverick. We're going to see Deadshot get taken down, and that could be a big loss. Hasham finishes it off. That's the Solace gone. That will have been a lot of Fnatic's sort of defensive plan will have revolved around playing with that intel underneath, with that ability to deny plant from...
For the one you just saw a second ago, towards the left of Alva here. Right idea, there's a player here, but he's got to go around and win the fight here, and P9's down on his belly. Learning a thing or two from Hasham on the way through, but it has been constant 1v1s being sought by Fnatic and constant 1v1s that they are losing, giving themselves over to Twisted Minds, who are now 5 versus 1 with over a minute to go. This is done.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Trix is going to start putting the diffuser down just to make things that little bit more difficult. Deepak, you needed a 1v5. Now you need it against the clock. He's going to get caught with the smoke canister in his hand. Hasham letting that opportunity pass by him there. I think maybe just a little bit of trigger discipline. Feeds the intel back to his team. Jalad is going to pick up Deadshot. Just again, you know, you don't need to necessarily expose your position. You can just give that information and let your team do the job. Jalad manages to find Crocs as well. 4 versus 2 now, and it is not looking great for Fnatic. However's going to relocate himself towards Cargo. Needs to be careful though, because Dover is there in position to have a little look through. Now needs to readjust because he could find himself getting hit from the bottom of the hatch. Manages to find his man. 2 versus 3, 25 seconds left to go. 2 versus 2, and the prowess with the nitros continues. Des.
As the Fnatic curse flipped here, they're the ones that are going to win around from a losing position. Could well be. It's down to the last 15. Jalad and Trix have really got to get a wiggle on him, as there is very little time left. Now running themselves in, trying to go for the gunfight. They get rid of the one. Can they find the next? And no doubt the call will be on where he is. Trix taking a couple of shots. Deepak is full HP. Trix had to go for it, but Deepak lies, well, hunkers himself down. 3.
Another win would then see you into that Salt Lake City bracket. So big deal here. The winner picking up those 2 chances to secure their place at the major. P9 does take down Hoover. Deepak though, he's got him big. Des. 3 in the last round, 2 more in this one. He takes the Flores and the Snake off the board.
Coming out of the Pulse and the Valkyrie. This ain't a fantastic spot for Twisted Minds to be in. At least making use of one of those Dockerby calls here to try and get themselves marching forwards. But Deepak, that train just will not stop delivering. Okay, now maybe it does. Fine, it's off the tracks. It has crashed, but he's got 3 in the round. Deadshot and Wizard to get 1 more each, and Fnatic take round 3.
Just doesn't matter. Would expect them to do well on the defensive half. That is why they've picked it. Still have that slowing effect, so it is a real disruption if you're trying to push yourself into an area. For example, Jalad manages to find Crocs and Trix with 1 onto Deepak as well. That's the 2 big danger players that have been taken away so far. Great work with that DMR as Trix manages to take down Deadshot. 4 versus 2 in the blink of an eye, and Fnatic are scrambling. However, it's going to be taken out on the clash, and it is all up to Wizard. Needs to find 4, can't find any. The kill that did come in was a team team kill. It's going to be a...
That's a legitimate strategy.
Reloading.
We'll find out over the next 2 minutes. See that there is one still upstairs looking to hold on to meeting corridor. Just going to be continuing to challenge Wizards. Needs to be careful that he doesn't overstay his welcome, and he does. He was on the score post, so the opportunity was there for him to get out of dodge maybe. However, taken down as well. Twisted Minds are starting to speed things up. They're starting to increase the pressure here. They will start the vertical work.
Look at what's been the two defining moments for Fnatic in this game, and that has been 2-3Ks coming out from APAC. Outside of that, they've really not offered an awful lot, I'm afraid. Now Croxton, know where he is about to get flooded. To make it a flawless round. Fantastic couple of rounds. Just a good thing that they got themselves out of danger and away from that pre-fire.
Still secure here. Deadshot holding his position. A minute 40 into the round. Deepak will be taken down, and this is the problem. The defense is falling down around him. They can keep hold of the top floor all they want to keep feeding Hasham. The diffuser goes down. Croxton manages to find one along the way, but he's going to need another 4. It'll have to be an ace clutch, and we know how rare a beast that is. He's looking, peeking, hoping that he can find something to get him going. He sees a fight up on the top floor. Flashbang does its job. The distraction is there. P9 with the final kill.
They're going to be aggressive. They're going to be in the face, you know, spawn peek city, all that kind of things. Twisted Minds. Mirror on the basement. If it's not a mirror ban, it's all
versus 3 at the minute.
I really thought for a second they'd go for a swing, then his half was being picked up because 2 players out of action, and there's a freebie for you.
Sorry?
Hasham hasn't even got to move him. Like,
how did they not know he's there?
Do not die to that drone hole. I swear to God. If he dies the drone hole again, I'm out. I'm done. It can't happen.
Dove managing to take down Wizard.
Oh, okay.
And however, 5 versus 1. Twisted Minds looking, you know, really solid at this point. And I really can't see anywhere that Crocs does this. They know exactly where he is. Does manage to get one, but no, tricks out that exactly as we expect. Tricks out of the breach.
Fundamentals, the communication side isn't fixed. I don't see how this improves no matter what you do. I mean, that's certainly a way to break the mental once again.
Well, look,
that's not being funny. That's gonna make an execute happen, Tim, but there's going to be a C4 coming from somewhere, surely.
I don't think there is. Deepak's going to see. Oh, there we go. Tricks manages to Snake. He would have been able to go through the entire map quickly. We've spoken at length repeatedly about Solid Snake and his gadget and his ability to solo roam clear at speed. That would have been his job. But now they've got to start doing it in a 2 versus 5. And Twisted Minds can commit to this. They can dip back. They can play with their food at this point because they've got all the time in the world. Yikes. Wow. Snake at the beginning of the last round. They've now just lost Ram at the beginning of an attack onto storage and control, where Ram, you know, is so important to get that verticality. They don't have any other to do with it, and Fnatic have been so unfortunate with that. The Blackbeard gets dealt with as well. Gilad manages to find him.
What's Alva doing?
Takes down Wizard. 2 versus 4. Fnatic are just bleeding from many, many wounds at the minute, Des.
Not playing as a team and paying the price for it as a result. Here comes more of that aggression that we used to see in Deepak. At least going to get to pad out that KD that little bit more. 2-3Ks.
He can't take any shots. He needs to create positions here where he can, you know, find and take some chip damage at least for free off these players. You know, where do you start with this? You don't start anywhere, to be honest. Over.
I think there's a certain person hearing your praises from behind the scenes. We're talking about the brains of Twisted Minds joining us for the interview. Congratulations.
Hello.
Hi, congratulations on the victory today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm really happy to go. Yeah, I think it's upper final, right? Or I don't know, but I'm doing fantastic. Feeling fantastic.
Yeah, the semifinals, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So that means that basically you have 2 BO3s to play if you lose the first one. So you have 2 chances at making Salt Lake City, which is honestly such a good one for you guys, especially because I anticipate that in the last day of Kickoff you could not play, so you're all watching the games and just crossing fingers about the results on the very last day. I guess the question for you, because we've talked about it a lot, was we felt like in defense you guys were super aggressive, always, you know, trying to get the opening pick, always trying to, you know, to jump out, and we did not see that playstyle when you guys switched to attack. We were multiple examples last week where you guys were a little bit slower, and we didn't see that much aggression. And today, I felt like your attacks were actually amazing, much better than before. So what did you guys do to try and improve that part?
I mean, we know they have a good cafe, for example, and we think, oh my God, we're gonna face it or not. We are ready, and we are thinking to hide something for the game against G2 or some games in the major. But if I say, guys, let's do our best. Let's use everything to qualify to the next game. So basically, we are hiding some good strats, some good maps in the group phase, and we are showing it now.
As a coach, how much do you have to balance? Like, your team obviously has a very, very unique style of play with their aggression, and you know, we saw even in the 5 versus 1, they're jumping out of IT breach and they're running out of the catwalk door. How do you balance that with letting them express themselves but not wanting them to take unnecessary risks?
It's hard to think. I mean, I'm graduate on psychology, and I became from Brazil, so it's a different game style. It's a different culture. Everything is different. But when I joined the team, like, I try to bring more these things about the mental, about when we do something, when we do this thing, or when we're gonna take the risk or we not take the risk. I'm not saying it have a magic formula, because I don't have it. But every time, every game, every situation, I say to them, guys, this situation is here, is this, so let's try to do this. The situation is this, so let's try to do this. I try to work more like the best of their talents, and to try to, you know, make the thing safe.
I feel like it's really working out so far. I mean, as you mentioned, your next game is against G2, which is a qualification game for that major. I think you and G2 are some of the most aggressive teams that we have in EML right now. How are you preparing for that game?
As I said, also I think you guys already saw it. Sometimes we scream against them, and it was a mess. And I think the game will be a mess too. So the preparing, I know they have good strats. I already watched their games, but I'm gonna look how they're gonna play, and you know, I'm just try to prepare the best what I can.
Right, that sounds awesome. Sounds very exciting for a big brawl between you two for the next game. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck against G2.
Thank you guys, thank you, nice to meet you. Pra galera do Brasil, muito obrigado para quem torce pra gente. E alemão, o Rachun tá querendo a sua cabeça. Valeu. Thank you so much.
I need to know what you just said. I need you to tell us in English.
Are you coming?
You've just said something to Alemão,
Are you
right?
coming for his head? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, exactly. I say Rachun wants his head.
Nice.
Ooh, okay, nice. Thank you so much
guys.
once again. Beautiful, I guess, kind of.
One boxer and one punching ball. Like that's the big difference between this match today
What are you laughing
and
about?
the match Thursday. No, but the reality was that
What did you just call him?
a punching ball. That's
A punching ball.
Yeah,
okay.
because if you just look at the last map, Fnatic does not react. They get pushed again and again and again, even outside when they're playing against defenders, and they do not react.
We've done a lot of criticising of Fnatic, I think, on this desk, and I think very, very fair. It's very important to praise Twisted Minds. They got their game plan right. They got the maps more or less right, I would say, given Fnatic Cafe was, I would say, a calculated risk. But they managed to get over the line, whether they should have or not. They did manage to do it. And once they got over the line, once they won the mental game, they really did not relent whatsoever.